there. How are you? Well, first of all, I have to apologize. My show was not released yesterday on Tuesday. I had a friend in town, and a good friend I've known for over 45, almost something like 48, 49 years. Yeah. My good bud Jen. So we hung around for a couple days and we partied, went to the casinos. We just had a blast. So, which I thank you for coming, Jen. So I got me thinking. Let's do the story about um, a trip that eight of us girls took in 1990 to Vegas. Yeah, it was way different. It isn't like it is now. The strip, you could actually walk across the strip to the hotels. You can't do that now. You have to go up and over the bridges and down, and it's nothing like it was back in 1990. So it started out, six of us from Illinois went. We all flew out together. And then two that lived in California flew out and met us. So there was eight of us. We had two rooms, which we really didn't need. We could have done one, as it turns out. So we got there. I should step back. We took off early Friday morning from Illinois. So we were in Vegas, eating and drinking at a table by noon, and so we went from Friday and then we left really late Sunday night. We got back into Illinois, I want to say like midnight, 1 o'clock a.m. So, but it was funny because my sister and I borrowed a big bag from my mom, luggage. So we went over there and we packed the night before and we stayed there at my parents' house down in Prospect Heights because it was much closer to the airport. So, and then my parents gave my sister and I forget how much money. I want to say it was like $100 and said, "Here, go treat yourself to a show and tell us how you like it." Because my parents went to Vegas all the time. They loved it here. Because my dad loved to gamble. That was pretty much his only vice. He didn't drink anymore. He didn't smoke, so that was his only vice. And they just loved coming here. So they knew it all. So my mom, schooled me and my sister Kathy on how to play 21 and this and that. So we were all ready. So we all get on the flight. We come out here, and like I said, by noon we were sitting at a table. We had some lunch, and that's when I mean a table. I don't mean a betting table. We were having lunch and drinks at noon, and we just took off. We were like party party, and we were partying all day and all night. And first night, Friday night. So we were at one point. I was sitting at this table, 21 table, and I was winning. And I was winning good. And I had like I don't know $200-300, and I'm tipping away. And I remember the dealer said, you don't have to tip that much. Keep the money yourself. I appreciate it, but don't keep tipping like that. You're going to lose all your money. And I'm like, all right. He probably saw how naive we all were, right? So we were just partying and partying and partying. And so that night, and there was eight of us, but it was like you hooked up with some people and everybody just kind of spread out. We had one friend who went and sat at the video poker machines at the bar and never left the entire 2.5 days we were there. Yeah. Unless we went to, well, sort of sleep and eat. That was the only time she left. So we really didn't see her much. And then we all we clustered around, but then we all broke off. So I really was with my sister. We were with all together, but my sister the most. So her and I were, and we had been drinking all day, right? So, and this is now probably, it was well after 10 p.m. Might have been closer to, I think it was like close to midnight. And me and my sister on this one table playing 21. And that's we ordered a drink, and we're waiting, and we're starting to get a little cranky. My sister's like, "Where the hell is our drink?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I'm getting pissed. I want my drink." And finally we were bitching, and the dealer leans in and says, "Ladies, you two have been cut off." And we're like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, the casino is not going to serve you any more liquor." And we're like, "Oh yeah." Well, I'm usually the real get into somebody's face, pushy one. No way. My sister is, she's almost 9 years younger than me, which we lovingly refer to her as the Martini Baby. Get it? And out came Kathy. 9 months later, a few martinis, and Kathy came out. So, So, and she's the more quiet, meek and mild, and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, she pops out of her chair and goes, "Where's the pit boss?" And she go, and they're like right there, and she goes up to him, and she's like, "I want a drink," but I'm like, I think, and the dealer says to me, "I think you need to get out of here because she's gonna get you in trouble." So I'm like, kind of pulling her, and I said, "I got an idea. Don't worry about it." So she's like, "Okay." So we left, and I said, "We're gonna go up to the room." So we go up to the room, and we page my friend Jenny down to the casino. Pager. She picks up the house phone, and I don't even know if they have those anymore. Probably not. And she's like, "Yeah, what's going on?" I'm like, "They cut us off. We want 2 beers, and we want them now. We're up in the room." And Jenny's like, "Yes, ma'am." Oh, excuse me, these allergies are bad. So, pardon me. So Jenny, she gets the beers. I gotta tell you, I love her for it. She follows directions, drunk or not. And she came up and brought us some beers, and we were partying. Then my other friend came up, and she was sitting with us, Sue. And then it was about 1, 2 in the morning, and we're like, God, we're hungry. So then we got a couple more drinks. So we're still partying, and we ordered. Me and my sister and I think Sue ordered some food, right? So we're eating it. It was room service, and they brought it, and we're eating it, and we're sitting there, and there was leftovers, of course. So we always joke about our friend Jenny. There isn't any food she don't like. So if you've got food left over on your plate, you're gonna see that fork come in, and she's going to take it and eat it. So we were sitting there, and we were just goofing around, the three of us, pretty loaded. And then actually in the other room, we had adjoining rooms. I think 2 of our friends were now down for the count. There were 2 of them that were. My one friend Peggy had just had a baby not long ago, so she wasn't out real late. And I had another friend, Chris, who wasn't a big partier, and I think those 2 were asleep at this point. But so we're in our room, and there's leftovers and stuff, and my girlfriend, and we knew Jenny was coming back up because she was bringing us some more drinks, and we're all like, "Uh-oh, look out, Jenny's coming, hide the food." And Jenny walks in the room, and she's like, "I smell food in here. Where is it?" And we were all laughing. We're like, "See? That nose does not let you down, Jenny, does it?" It was hilarious. So then we were like, "It's over here." And then she started eating. Well, then slowly but surely the rest of the friends started coming up, and there was 8 of us, so there was 4 in one room and 4 in the other room. And we laid down, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, and we giggled for another couple hours for sure. We saw the sun come up as we're laying in bed. We were all giggling and laughing. And it's like, yeah, this sleeping thing isn't going to work. We did manage to fall asleep for a couple hours. We woke up about 8 or 9 in the morning. So we figured we had about 2, 3 hours sleep. And we went down, and so now we're and they had this big escalator in the hotel we were staying at. It was across from Caesars, and I want to say it was some kind of a Hilton or something we were staying at. It's not there anymore, but it was across from Caesars because we walked across the street and went into Caesars. So I remember that. But so with this escalator, which that was the other thing. When we were going up and down the escalator the night before, we were singing "Viva Las Vegas, Viva." We're singing this as we're going down the elevator and up of it, and people were watching us. So we're all 8 of us were on the elevators, and me and my sister were at the tail end. We were the last 2 under the elevator. Excuse me, escalator. Did I say elevator the whole time? Escalator. Big long escalator. God, Len. Pickled, remember. Pickled. Escalator. So me and my sister are the last 2 on the escalator. So we're going down, and all of a sudden we hear, there's the sisters. And we look over because the escalator's going up, so it was going the opposite way. And we look over, we're like, "Oh my God." And they're like, "Hi." And they're waving at us, these guys, and we're like, "Oh no, what did we do? They know we're sisters." So, and then we're walking through the casino, and somebody else says, "There goes those sisters." And I'm like, I look at Kathy, I'm like, "Oh boy, we've made a mark, and we've only been here 24 hours. So we got something to eat, kind of filled our bellies up, drank a lot of water, and then we were off and running again, partying. And, we were drinking, drinking, drinking. So then we got some food. We were partying during the day, betting, drinking. We had dinner, and then we decided to go over to Caesars to see them. And that was in the day where they still wore all those like toga outfits, the women and the guys. So that's how long ago it was. So we went over there. Some of the girls wanted to see it, so we did. And I was betting on a table, playing 21, and my girlfriend comes over and says, "You're never going to believe who's in the bar." And I'm like, "Okay, who?" And she's like, "Dan Hampton." And he belonged to the Chicago Bears in the 80s. He was part of the Super Bowl 80s, and he still lives in Illinois. He's, very much Bear, Chicago Bear. And of course, I knew who he was. And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think so." And she's like, "I'm telling you, it's Dan Hampton." And I almost didn't get up, but she's like, "Are you sure you don't want to?" And I said, "Okay." So I got my cash, and we went. And she takes me in there. Okay. So Dan Hampton is sitting on a bar stool. He's got his arm around one blonde who's, kind of looks like a sleazier model blonde, and he's got his arm around the next one. Now this guy's married, and neither one of them were his wife, and he's sitting there like a peacock with these two women. And this guy comes up to me because I walked right up to him. I'm like, "Dan Hampton," shaking his hand. And this guy comes up to me, and we were laughing so hard. We're like, "Is that his bodyguard?" And he says, "Hey, what are you doing?" The guy was maybe 2 inches taller than me, and I'm 5'1". Okay, and I'm like, "I'm talking to Dan Hampton," and I push him away. I'm like, "Get out of here!" And Hampton goes, "It's cool." And I said, "Oh my God, I love the Bears. I've been a Bears fan forever since they signed Walter Payton in 1975. That's it. I've been hooked." And he's like, "Thank you." I go, and I said, "And I loved you even when you guys sucked." And all my friends started laughing. All his people were laughing, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't think that came out right." And he's like, "That's okay, honey." And I'm like, "Oh my God." So that was a lot of fun. We got to see Dan Hampton. So then we moved on to other casinos. And then we was really late. And it was this casino. And I want to remember, it was an Oriental name because it was definitely owned um, by somebody of that descent. And so we were in there. It was the wee hours of the morning. And so it's late between, it's like Sunday morning, but it was like, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I think it was more so. And we're playing at this table, and then my friend gets in fight with this one guy. He was such a douche. And he was kind of basically saying we were all ugly. And he was like a loser. He was trying to make the dealer mess up. So he was trying to talk and screw her up as she was dealing. And we all knew that's what he was trying to do. We're like, "Cut it out, asshole." Finally, we get the pit boss over there, but he was like insulting us. We were going to get in a drag down fight with this asshole, but they kicked him out because it wasn't us. So we were. We were just going, going, going. Now it's Sunday, and we're taking off at like, I don't know, it was like 11, 12 at night. No, because we lose time. So it was probably 10 Vegas time, 10 p.m., because we got in about midnight, 1 o'clock. So yeah, it was probably about 10 o'clock. And we were still just going, going, going. We slept. We left, remember now, we got up Friday morning, went early, and we got back at around 1 o'clock and Sunday night, and we had 2 to 3 hours sleep, the six of us. Now, the other two ladies, they were young, they had young kids at home. I did too, but my husband was taking care of them with his mom. My son was 1 at the time. And and that was the funny part. Every time I called to check in on my husband, just to say hi, say how the two of them are doing with their mom, my mother in law would answer. And I'm like, and I love my mother in law, don't get me wrong, but I was always drunk. So I'm like, "Oh my God." It was 6 a.m. there, and it was 8 a.m. in Illinois time. So I called. I knew they'd be up. And she answered, and I said, and she got Bill on the phone. I said to my friends, "Oh my God." She's looking at the clock going, "My daughter in law is hammered, and it's 6 a.m." And I was like, "Yeah, I was for 2.5 days." We had so much fun. And that money that my mom and dad gave us to go see a show, that didn't happen. We spent that on gambling, man. It was gone. And back then it was cheaper to gamble because it wasn't like it is now. I mean, the minimum tables you could find one for $1, $2, not anymore. You're never going to find one less than $5 around here now, and it's usually Fremont. Although late in the night, after a certain time, like I think it's like 2 a.m. or something, they start to go down the minimums. But oh yeah, they're like So we get home. Oh, we get on the plane, and we're all just wiped out. Now we're like okay, and two of our friends we were kind of all over the plane, and two of our friends were in the back, and they happened to be sitting by some really freaking obnoxious drunk guys. And one of the guys was jumping around in the back. He broke one of the seats, and my poor friends were there. And the stewardesses were like, "What are you all doing?" They're like, "Not us, it's them." And it was crazy. That's when you could get away with shit on planes. You can't do that anymore. So they all settled down, and we finally got a little sleep on the way back. And we were just party. And we got back, and we come in, and it was pretty late, maybe about 2 by the time we got back to my parents' house, 2 a.m. And my mom got up. She was so excited. "Oh, how did you like Vegas?" It was our first time. This and that, and this and that. And no, actually, it was my second time. I had been there years. What am I saying? I was there before. So, we were like, "Oh, we had a great time." She goes, "You look really tired, both of you." And we're like, "Well, we only slept like 2, 3 hours." "What?" "Yeah, well, "Oh, what show did you guys go to?" And we both looked at each other. We're like, now we had forgotten to either whatever. And we're both like, we had this face like, "Oh, busted." And my mom's like, and we're like, "Well, we didn't go to a show, Mom. We just spent the money." And we said we spent it for dinner, which we probably, they gave us 100 with the food and stuff. So yes, they basically bought us meals, and they're like that. We thought they were going to be so mad at us. We're like, shit. And we were like, "Are they going to ask us for the money back?" They would never do that. But my mom's like, "Don't worry about it." And we just had so much fun. But, oh yeah, when we were driving to the airport too, we were pretty sure our limo driver, because we made him stop, because a couple of the people, like the one who was sitting at the bar for 48 hours by herself, she hadn't been eating much, so we had to stop and get some food. So we just pulled up to in front of a restaurant, ran in, and he was so afraid because we were all talking in the back about how we had gone through all our money. So he's like, "Ladies, you have enough to pay for this limo ride to the airport, right?" "Of course we do, sir." We made sure, we all talked about it, that we had money. And he's like, "Okay." And then he's like, it's customary to tip." We're like, "Yeah, we know." So he was pissed at us for making him stop at the casino, at the restaurant, but we had to. You know what I mean? So, so we did that, and I'm sorry, what am I doing? What the hell? Again, pickled. Um, so, but what was funny, it was just a great, great time. Craziness. Nobody came home with any money. And we had drank for 2.5 days pretty much straight and lived. But now there was 8 of us. I would say we all, except for the 2 smart ladies that had just had kids, we all got very sick. We all got colds, and it was bad. They lasted forever. And we're like, well, I guess that's not too surprising considering what we just did. But all our husbands said the same thing when they heard the stories, because there's a few more stories that I cannot tell on this show. So, because they were stories from people that were there, and I can't say. I can't say that kind of stuff without their permission, and I'm not going to. When I tell stories, I do mention people's first names if I think it's okay, and I'll tell stories about me. But when it comes to people who are in the story, if they're doing something that I know they don't want people to know about, I'm not going to talk about it. So there are a few stories that were pretty good, but I can't say. I'm sorry. So if you know me, and some of these ladies, just use your imagination. It won't be too difficult, okay? So we all got sick. But anyways, at the end, all the husbands, the next time we all got together, like probably a month later, we were talking about, they're all like, "None of you are ever going to Vegas by yourself again. We're not allowing it." Because some people really went through a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. I did not. I brought the cash and did not go to the gas station again, because that gas stations were just starting to come around and stuff. So they were available. I did not, because I'm good at that. So I knew. After a while, I pretty much oh yeah. So the $300 I won, I lost. Yeah. So I was like, no, I can't. I probably came home. I did come home with a little money, but not much. And but I was like, never again. I would never blow that kind of money again. But we were young. And but the husbands are like, yeah, they kibosh that. We are not allowing it because of the stories we heard. You all got sick. You didn't sleep. You hardly ate, and all you did was drink. Yeah, pretty much. So it was really a lot of fun. So that was a great time. Of course, we could never ever do that again. Jenny and I clearly did not do that the other night, although we were out kind of late. Well, Jenny didn't get in till like 8 o'clock that night on Monday, so we got over to the casino probably like 9:30, and we were up pretty late, but we got there late, and we were just laughing and talking. So yeah, that's my Vegas story from 1990. It was, and you can use your imagination on the other things, I'm sure. So I'm just going to end with a little song. You know you want to hear it, right? Everybody does. I know. I'm so talented, aren't I? I'm starting to blush again. Anyways, luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. If you've been a lady to begin with, no. Luck be a lady tonight. Lady is not a lot of things associated with Lynn. Let's keep this party polite. Why? Never get out of my sight. Sister, where are you going? Stick with me, baby. Sister, I've got you. Then that couldn't come in. Well, what? Stick with me, baby. I'm the sister that you came with. Remember, Mom and Dad had us. So let's keep this party polite. Never get out of my sight. So luck be a lady, luck be a lady, luck be a Linny tonight. Luck be a Linny tonight. Luck and Linny don't go together. Luck be a lady tonight. Thank you. I know. Applause, applause. All right, come on, settle down. Not that good. And my message: be happy, smile at a stranger, help a stranger, be nice, fill your heart, and go out into the world and spread the joy and love that I know you all have. And let's bring everybody together again. And my viewers are going down. Are you guys getting tired of the show or what? I'm a little disappointed, all right? I don't know. That's all right. I'm going to keep doing the show. It don't matter. And we're going to have a guest tomorrow. And then Friday, I start our 16-year journey of when my incredibly awesome husband got that disease. And then we start this journey. And then next week, I think it'll be next week, but I'm going to start a new and where I'm going to have regular guests. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm telling you, the loyal listeners, you're going to love it. Because if you've been watching this far, you're going to love it. I'm telling you, I'm not, it's not always going to be stories about me anymore because I know I can't keep the viewership if I don't do a little bit more. So, I am going to start having regular guests and it's going to be so much fun. So, stick around, man. Don't give up on me yet, baby. Because I'm trying to make my son eat that shoe. Remember? Now, if you didn't watch from the beginning, you don't know what that means. So you're going to have to watch the first show to know what that means. So again, say hi to somebody. Be kind. And let's just love each other. Okay? And, of course, keep on rocking and rolling and watching the Vegas Baby Show starring me, Lynn. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, again, see you guys tomorrow. Come on.